Hi guys, so today we had a start to Adobe Illustrator and we're trying to create a Twitter bird. We're trying to follow a tutorial. This time it's not on video, we're following the written word. And I'm sure that some of you felt a little bit frustrated by the end of today's lesson. It's not easy to get used to some of this stuff, but the more you play with it, the easier it gets and the more fun you'll have. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to review some of the things that we were doing in today's lesson. Okay? So first of all, I'm going to take the rectangle tool and draw out a rectangle. This is going to be my Twitter bird. I'm going to go to Effect, Stylize Round Corners. Don't worry what the tutorial said, because my rectangle is not the same size as their rectangle. Even there, 10px, I can see a little bit of rounded corner. Let's change that to 100. Oh, perfect, that'll do. I'm happy already. Okay, Effect, what was it? Distort and transform. Was that right? Distort, where's free distort? Free distort, there it is. And that's what we had to do next. So I think I understand what the free distort option does in Illustrator. Next, what we were doing, we were going to make a gradient. Where's my gradient window? Window, gradient. So this is my gradient window. I really need to make the gradient. Let's go to show options as well. Not that that really helps me, but here's my gradient slider. And at the moment, I have no swatches on the slider. So let's put a swatch on. Oh, wow, okay. So now I've got two swatches, one on the left and one on the right. So I'm going to take the left one and I'm going to change the color. I will need the color window, by the way. So I'm going to change the color of that one, click on the black one, see if I can get a different color, a bit lighter. Just go back to this one. I just want to make it a bit darker and keep this one light. Brilliant. So I've got my gradient, which is linear. It could be radial, but I'm going to keep it as linear. But mine's going from left to right, whereas I need it to go from top to bottom. So I'm going to use the gradient tool to shape my gradient. And there we go. In fact, I think in the tutorial, yeah, that's right, isn't it? I'll tell you what as well, in the tutorial, this shape doesn't have a black stroke on the outline. So I'm going to turn the stroke off. There's the stroke. Turn it off. I'm just going to undo that. Another way to do that is in this window here. We've got stroke. Turn it off. No stroke. Okay? Now the next part of the tutorial was using the pen tool to draw the hair. So I'm not going to worry too much about this at the moment. I'm just going to come down here and draw my hair big here first. So click, click and drag. Oh, I don't want to see the fill color yet. That's a bit distracting. So I'm going to click on fill color and say no fill color. And I'm going to click on stroke color, double click, and let's just get black for the moment, so I can see the black stroke. Now I want a curve to come down here, so I'm going to click here and oh, for goodness sake, that's not really what I want. The problem is that I'm not resetting the start point of the next line in my drawing. So I'm just going to undo that, click at the end point, restart, click and restart, click and restart, and there we go. I've got my hair shape. Now I might want to reshape it a little bit. I can use the direct selection tool and click on one of these points. Do you see these points? I can click into those and just drag them about a little bit just to reshape the hair that I'm making. Brilliant, that's exactly what I want. I'm absolutely satisfied with that. So I'm going to fill it with that gradient. If I can fill it with the gradient, I can do it like that. Another way to do it is to click in the gradient swatch here. And that will give it a gradient. or it could be solid color, or it could be no color. But I'm going to choose gradient. Now I'm ready to resize it, to put it on top of the head, and take off the stroke color and reshape the gradient so it's dark at the bottom, light at the top. Dark at the bottom, light at the top, something like that. That's okay, isn't it? We'll just move it into place. It does look a bit odd still. Why does that look so odd? Okay, so white arrow. I'm just going to drag that down, and I'm going to drag that down. Yeah, that's not bad. Make it a little bit smaller. Just takes a little bit of playing around with, and you'll end up getting the effect that you want. And there's the hair for my Twitter bird. Control C, Control V. I've got a new one. Make it smaller. Stick it in here. And what do we do with that? I can't remember if we have to reshape the gradient. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look at the tutorial. But it's something like that. Alright, so feel free to carry on with the tutorial and see if you can go ahead and make your Twitter bird. Remember, it's going to be painful. But that's not always a bad thing.